So very good day to everybody present here. In this today's session, we will discuss about the application of AI. What is AI? What is ML? ML. What is ML? Machine learning. Machine learning. What is a machine learning used for? Prediction analysis, prediction algorithm, prediction method. What will be this mouse after 2 years? What will be this projector after 5 years? How healthy is this drinking water in the bottle after 6 months? Whether this CCTV camera is working or not. Whether we have AC here. What is the temperature here? Whether it can be reduced or not. Everything it can predict. Okay. Just like taking private classes for the students, we take private classes for the artificial intelligence. Telling about all the situations. Now this guy called as AI, this guy called as the AI, together with ML, he will understand everything. And he will be doing some task which I might be tired at. Okay, so this is the topic which we are going to discuss. It is application of AI in economic analysis, and this is especially for you, my dear students and young researchers, and you can reach me at dr.christoananth@gmail.com. So before beginning the session, let me thank God for before beginning the session, let me thank God for giving me this golden opportunity to deliver this useful session, to share my knowledge among my fellow national, international participants, students and young researchers. So today's session we will discuss about a short introduction, and then we discuss about RNN, recurrent neural network in AI, because I am telling you repeatedly, machine learning is not without neural network. Whether it may be feedback network or feed forward network, supervised learning or unsupervised learning, convolutional neural network or recurrent neural network, reinforcement learning, everything comes under machine learning. So this one we are going to have with AI, and then we discuss about the trading strategies in emerging market specialization, and we discuss about a very interesting scenario which is Google fever. Okay, Google fever, that's a Google flu trend. And then we discuss about the long established previous statistics versus the AI, artificial intelligence, and what are the central bankers' interest in the big data. And then we discuss about the expected gains from AI in different regions in the world by 2030. We are in 2022. So what is the expected gains that we would be expecting if we try to implement this AI? What will be the output in 2030? Then we discuss about PwC, that's one organization which is going to make a prediction on AI, and what is the global prediction. And then we discuss about the McKinsey Global Institute prediction on AI. Okay, of course, if we have time, we will have a class test about the AI technologies. Maybe you will have some information about it. Okay, and at regular intervals, I will be giving you some short videos to discuss the knowledge in our topics. Okay, right. So this is AI. Before starting off with today's session, I'm giving you a warning that AI is going to replace financial sector. AI is going to replace medicine sector, most of the places, because you are in the banking, finance and services. So be very careful when you try to use AI. It is not that you shouldn't use AI. You shouldn't use AI. Not like that. You should use AI, but you should understand your roles and responsibilities, and you should understand the roles and responsibilities of the AI device. Okay, so what they are, yeah, what is very important with AI is the utilization, how far it is going to utilize. For example, let us take in the case, are you interested in stocks and shares? Yes. Which share you buy? Maybe 1,000 shares you buy, 500 shares you buy, 10 shares you buy. Okay, then maybe you might be interested in something. Okay, sometimes even the experienced people make some mistakes in prediction. Okay, maybe if there is an ongoing war between two countries, I don't mention the name. If there is an ongoing war between two countries, that is going to impact the share market. Sensex falls, NSE is going to impact, BSE is going to impact. So maybe you would think, okay, we bought this share for 1,000 shares. Suddenly the price goes down. You cannot sell it. But you are in a financial crisis. You have to do something. Then you try to buy, maybe you try to sell this share. Maybe you go for another share. That share also goes down. So this is where AI is going to play a vital role. So you call it as trading AI, definitely it is going to make a prediction which shares you can buy, which shares you shouldn't buy, which shares you can sell, which shares you shouldn't sell. Please wait for 6 months, please wait for 1 year. Okay, so it is going to give some predictions, and chances there that it can replace financial workers if you are not properly dealing. And for evaluating the future stock prices, maybe you can get information about the company's activity, about the reviews. Okay, maybe for example, there is one particular bank called Yes Bank. Okay, many bought the share for a good price, but now the Yes Bank share has drastically reduced. Drastically reduced. Earlier the share was around like a 70. Now the share was around 15. Drastically it reduced. So everything, the information about the company, about the reviews, about the current news. Several news comes from the Twitter. You know that. That is why Twitter is banned in many countries. So even the current news we will get. So accordingly, the shareholders or maybe the stockholders immediately they make the prediction. We are small people. We are small people. We don't know what is happening, but because of the Twitter tweets as well as retweets, the big guys, big bosses, they tend to make decisions very quickly. Okay, so everything comes very handy with the help of AI. And as I told you, ML has to be implanted in AI. So with the case of ML, you have to go with recurrent neural network. So this is where a very famous company called as FinTech, it has come up with the recurrent neural networks. Also, whatever may be the methods that we would have with the machine learning, we will have fraud prediction. For example, hackers might able to maybe steal or maybe hack some useful information about that particular company or maybe about that particular bank. They would be taking that information. Maybe sometimes what happens, maybe you have a bank which is going to give some loan for you for your house or maybe for your land. Suddenly bank says, no, we don't have enough money, we are going to close the bank. So that prediction is also possible with the help of ML. So that bankruptcy as well as fraud prediction as well as risk management. Okay, for example, you are compelled to take a risk at one particular point of time. You might be compelled to take a risk. Maybe after 2 years, you will have triple the benefit. You will have triple the money. Those people who don't take up that risk will not have that benefit. So that is also possible with ML implanted in AI. For high frequency trading, you can use artificial intelligence. So maybe you can use this the GPUs that we would be better able to predict the performance of the artificial neural network. So what are the costs that are involved, what is the delay that is evolving in the in the current market. Even with the case of forex trading, many are good in forex trading to change the currency, okay, local currency into international currency. So you should be thinking, okay, what commission can I make, what interest can I make, okay. But the forex is very good at it, it is able to make the prediction. Foreign exchange, okay. For example, if there is a war between two countries, the gold price is going to increase, the gold price is going to increase. So similarly, whether we can keep the same exchange price, or should we have to reduce it, should we have to increase it? So that really matters, that really matters with the case of foreign exchange as well. So high frequency trading, you can use AI, okay. You need not have to ask your friend in the nearby country, hello Kazakhstan, how are you, how about the situation, that you need not have to ask them, because the system will be able to better analyze the situation, okay. So system will be giving you the solutions, right? And you can learn how to make this AI powered trading software. So this is where the neural network plays a vital role. And since the AI is implanted in the company called fintech, the salary in the fintech companies is relatively high, because they were implementing this ML technology, machine learning technology, in the neural network. So their systems, they were able to better analyze, okay, these are the work that the human beings should do, these are the work the machine learning algorithms should perform, these are the work the AI should do with regards to prediction. So they are able to better analyze the system. So that is the reason the salaries are also huge with the fintech company workers. Also, you have several kinds of programs online. Even with the case of trading, you might think, okay, I want to do trading. You cannot blindly jump into trading. You should have some idea. Maybe you should have a course, or maybe a program with an experienced guy who knows what to buy, what not to buy, what to buy at this particular point of time. Don't sell this. Everything he'll be giving some ideas. Maybe make the profit within 5 seconds. That also he tells. Okay, right. So this the courses have several trading strategy, computational investing, okay, as well as machine learning for trading. For example, with the case of trading strategy, you can design, you can create a portfolio, a model, okay, to design your own strategy, because your strategy will be different from somebody else's strategy, right? And also computational investing. So maybe the risk management really matters. So with regards to buying one particular asset, okay, you can take risk, you can take risk, okay, and maybe after 2 or maybe 3 years you can enjoy its benefits, okay. So more than the investment cost, your profit is double or triple, or maybe 5 times, maybe after 2 years. That also really matters. Even we can use for ML for trading. That's what is ordered by Tucker Balk, which is giving some course, some ideas, some suggestions about how you try to implant this machine learning on trading. And there are several individual investors as well as money managers as well. They have their design strategies. So it is very much essential that you should go with some programs, some courses. So it is not about trading alone. It is about how you try to implant the machine learning in your strategy, and how you are able to enjoy benefit, how you are able to enjoy the profit within matter of seconds. Okay. Earlier days, the programmers will tell you what are the shortcuts. Now there are several programs which are going to say, if you implant ML in your strategy, you need not have to think about it. The machines are going to think for you. You are just going to have a cup of Pepsi or Coke. That's it. The machine does all the work for you. Okay. So this is the trading strategies in the emerging market specialization. And of course, if you're going to go with machine learning, we will have linear regression techniques, KNN, I mean K-based neural networks, as well as regression trees. So we would be analyzing, okay, at this time, maybe 10:25, the share price got dropped. Okay, maybe at 10:30, the price will go up. The model will tell. The model will tell for you. Okay, then you can make a decision. Okay, but decision lies within you. Decision lies within you. The machine will give you some suggestion. It is you that you have to make the decision. Okay, right. So you can complete, real world projects that is designed by the industry experts, and you can manage the trading signal generation. So this signal, if it goes down, then you can buy it. If it goes up, then you can sell it. So that's how the algorithms work. So this is the Google flu trend. I told you, like Google fever. Okay. So for anything and everything now comes big data. You've heard about big data? You've heard about big data? Right. So big data is going to help you with the economic analysis, what to spend and what not to spend, everything, the information, data. As I can rightly say, information is power, information is wealth. Data is very much important. If I get the data about you, I can control you. Yes? For example, you throw a boarding pass after the flight. I take that boarding pass. I scan the QR code. I know your first name. I know your last name. I know your date of birth. I know your national ID card number. I know the bank account that is associated with you. Whether it is national bank or private bank. Whether you have got loan or not. I know about it. Yes? Yes? So if I get the data, your information, I control you. Yes? We do it many things knowingly. We do many things unknowingly. The mobile apps that you try to download in your mobile. Yes? Without knowing anything, agree. What is that agree? Yes. Do you want this app to modify your information? Yes. Do you want this app to read your videos and audio? Yes. Of course. I'm very open. The app says, I'm watching you. The application says, I'm watching you. Same thing with the case of big data. So the big data will be able to have a prediction on the advanced research. So maybe if I like Somsa, okay, it is there in the photos, it is there in the videos. Now the big data is going to predict, okay, I am liking the Gosh Samsa. Okay, maybe in the future prediction it makes, okay, so we have 3 types of samsas. Okay, this one costs 10,000, this one costs 12,000, this one costs 15,000. Which one would you like to have? Now this guy, we don't need this one. So the system is controlling me. Making predictions. Okay, on Sunday afternoon, you eat pulao. Okay, after Ramadan, this guy will be making shopping in this particular mall. So everything the system knows, everything the system makes predictions on the big data, the trading strategies. So it is able to make prediction on its own. So this is how you have the advanced research progress with the case of big data. Even we have a new technology called as black box. So black box is something that is associated with the neural networks. So there we would be having some statistics, some analysis part as well, and black box technology in ML is going to predict how neural network will perform. For example, if I am giving an input call, if I'm a system which gives input called food, like a pirashki or katoshka or maybe tomato or maybe pulao, immediately I see everybody are laughing. I see everybody is smiling. Okay, so I am giving the input and I am getting the response from everybody. Now I am intelligent. Okay, so if I tell something about food, you guys are smiling. So I am ML. I am machine learning. I am giving some input. I am getting the output from you all, and I am giving the outputs. Okay, so this is how you call it with the black box technology. You can even the bankers in and around the world are making some risk assessment. They are making microeconomic forecasting. They are making macroeconomic forecasting. For example, you own a company of 5 employees, only 5 employees. Economic forecasting is possible. For example, if you have a company with 1,000 employees, macroeconomic forecasting is also possible. Financial market, how it goes on, current trend, that is also possible. Okay, so with the help of big data that we have with Google, with the help of deep learning, with the help of machine learning, you can take prediction to the next higher level. Even with the case of United Nations and World Bank, it has, more than 200 projects in AI. Even in the website they have listed. So you can go through them. You can understand how it works. And there are some long established statistics versus the artificial intelligence. You might have a question. How AI is going to understand all these? Because human beings, they work based on the previous experiences. Yes? Yes? For example, I'm handling the session for Thursday, Friday and Saturday. Okay. For example, if I'm not handling the session very good, you have a previous experience. On Thursday and Friday, the session by this resource person is very boring. Okay. So on Saturday, what we do? We do something in the class. Of course, it is boring, so we don't think like that. Okay. So you tend to make decision on your previous experiences. Okay, this guy is so boring, so I need not have to listen to him on Saturday. Okay, you are making a decision on your own. Okay, similarly, artificial intelligence, whenever you are feeding in, you are programming, so definitely artificial intelligence can also think like human beings, and also it can make a decision, it can give a suggestion for the human beings. So whenever you take in the case of statistics or maybe the information, so what data you have, you can be able to solve the problems. Okay, but with the case of AI, still the data has to be structured. Only if it is structured, it can be fed to AI. Okay, because AI needs some time for learning, needs some time for adapting. But when AI has adapted to that situation, then it can make smarter decision. Okay, so there is some nonlinear relationship between the data set and the explained variable in the statistical framework. For example, in the artificial intelligence, you have to feed in with the proper variables. Okay, the proper variables and the data you are feeding, there should be some relationship. Only then the AI will be able to better analyze the situation. Okay, more than the forecasting means prediction about the future situation. Now with AI, we have a situation called nowcasting, which means know what it will be. Okay, for example, it is sunny, it is very hot now. Okay, it is 10:30 now. At 10:45, you can expect showers, some rain, so that it can be able to predict. So based on the current situation, okay, maybe it is very hot. Okay, maybe in 15 minutes it will be 5 degrees hotter than yesterday. It is predicting. It is now casting. Now casting. It is doing. Okay, right? Also, whatever may be the case, the relationship is very important. The data as well as the variables, that has to be properly fed in the system. And even with the case of big data, you can enjoy most of the real-time data sets as well. You can progress several qualitative data, not quantitative data, qualitative data, which means, for example, your boss says, get a survey about those people who eat only pirashki. Let us take in the case. Let us take in the case. Okay, now you go. You don't want to work. You don't want to work. Immediately you go to somebody. Okay, maybe let us five of them. You get the data and you say to the boss, okay, these five guys I took the survey. They said three of them they like with meat and two of them they don't like meat. You said something. Okay, but the boss, in order to complete that particular work, okay, he hears to it, okay, and he says, okay, done, okay, you go whatever you want to. But the machine or maybe the device that you can use for artificial intelligence, it will be getting only qualitative data. Okay, those people who are working in the restaurant, or maybe those people who have been in this country for 20 years or 30 years, only that data it will be accepting. Okay, it will not accept any random data. So it is all about accepting the qualitative data with the case of artificial intelligence based devices, right? So yes, then we'll have statistics versus machine learning. So similarly, with the case of artificial intelligence, we will have a data driven based approach. So whatever it is, because machine learning is entirely dependent on data. So if you have data, if you have good quality data, which means machine learning is going to accept this data and it is going to make a prediction. So it is also very good in the test set that is going to process. Okay, whether it can have supervised learning or maybe unsupervised learning, that it can make the prediction. Also with the case of feature selection as well as regularization, machine learning is very good at it. The next week when you come, I would be expecting each and every one of you to speak on this topic. So there are several applications of AI on the economic analysis, even with the case of EPUI, Economic Policy Uncertainty Index. That's actually a very important measure for measuring the uncertainty with regards to the NLP models, natural language processing models. So even we have basic and better relationships with the important events, even like where we have in the case of FOMC, Federal Open Market Committee event. So using the computational language approaches, we are going to generally formulate this FOMC. So this is an example, a text analysis conducted by the Bank of England. So generally it shows that the meeting letters of PRA, Prudential Regulation Authority, and maybe the interest in the sentiment analysis, maybe positive or maybe negative, or maybe you take in the case of complexity, or maybe direct instructions, or maybe suggestions, formality and forward lookingness, maybe the future focus, or maybe discussion about the past development. Everything is based on the sentiment analysis. Generally we will have based on the words that we use. Okay, so it's generally a bag of words, and that's lagging far behind the state of art models in the NLP, natural language processing. So even there have been obstacles even with the case of AI in the economics. Even first of all, the quality of the data, because there is no proper criteria for ensuring the data privacy, because data privacy authentication has been a real problem. We have been experiencing cyber threats all over, even in the field of economics also. So generally, it requires worldwide politicians even to establish common jurisdiction for this production of data, management of data, and of course the sharing of data even. So we have data sets even in the central banks also. They try to process these data sets, but it is not completely true, because they themselves cannot produce the data. So they process the data, but we do not know the exact genuineness of the data that they are processing. So they are highly dependent on the commercial banks to actually provide them the appropriate data sets through some kind of regulations. Okay, so precision in economic analysis is definitely higher than this digital marketing, and that you should be very careful at it. So this is the central bankers' interest in the big data. Even they have shown much interest in big data. So this is where Irving Fisher Committee on Central Bank Statistics (IFC) generally report that 30% of the members are using big data, and interest are shared among the unemployed rate, even the house prices, retail sales, web-based confidence indicator. Even generally, it's going to be a very important parameter for measurement of this information impact on this specific economic variable. So big data generally it helps in this financial or maybe economic analysis, even because it is going to give a deep insight in the hidden phenomena, and it is going to combine different types of data and actually the source, the origin of the data. Even it's going to compute faster with the larger data sets, and it's going to provide better or maybe greater details for better policy making decisions. It's going to enable real-time observations even for changing dynamics even, and generally there are many much more advantages that we enjoy with big data, and even the central bankers are very much keen at. Still, there are much challenges for the financial professionals even to elaborate or maybe expand the use of AI. So AI definitely, as we know, it is going to create opportunities, but definitely everything we see has its risk that is involved. Even when you're trying to invest money in the IT infrastructure or maybe confidentiality protection or maybe security, so there definitely it is costly. So both in terms of money, even in the terms of reputation, even. So reputation risk is one such factor that always comes as a free product even whenever you are going to come up with the opportunities. So it's a reputation risk. It's actually a key concern for the central bankers and maybe financial institutes even. So even in the data science or maybe finance sector, this always comes up in a fashion. Okay, so the reason is that there is no standard quality control measurements. Even maybe we do not have much stronger statistical models even when it comes to non-supervised methods. Even while authorities or maybe quants they attach importance to these measurements. So generally we should give more importance to the black box or maybe the neural network. So this is where we have to build a stronger statistical model in order to find a base for the quality control measurements. So the secret of this black box is actually unlocked, which means that we can make the best use of AI by making processing the correct collected data, and we can actually extract the information out of the unstructured data. So this is how you are going to unbox the black box, and you can much enjoy much more advantages with the AI. So this is the expected gains from AI in different regions of the world within next 8 years or so. So it is said by North America it is 3.7 I mean 3.7. It is accounting to 14.5 percentage. Okay, and generally we will have Northern Europe even 1.8. Okay, and then Southern Europe 0.7, Latin America 0.5. Okay, and China it is 7. Okay, so that's higher. Okay, Africa, Oceania, and others 1.2. They are contributing 1.2, and developed Asia 0.9. Okay, so this is actually the US trillion dollar. Okay, so percentage is actually the GDP that we are talking about. So actually the darker circles will be the expected gains that is derived from this artificial intelligence, while the outer circle is nothing but the proportional to the within 8 years 2030 regional GDP according to the PwC projection. So we are observing good numbers with China, and that is with the $1 trillion, $7 trillion. That's 26 percentage GDP. So there have been, yes, of course, I've been repeating you many times that economic potential of AI has its significant economic impact even. Even with the case of Accenture, we actually discussed earlier that it is covering 12 developed economies even. So maybe it is accounting to generate more than 0.5 percentage of the world economic output. So that is the forecast by the 2035. And even AI would have a twofold increase in the annual global economic growth rate even. First, generally the labor productivity is actually increased up to 40% due to this innovative technologies. Even AI will also create a new virtual workforce, what you call it to be the intelligent automation. So it can solve problems in its own, and it can learn by itself, it can train by itself. So therefore the economy will be generally benefited, and definitely it will make an impact in all of the sectors and will actually create new revenue streams even. So this is the PwC prediction of AI. So according to the PricewaterhouseCoopers (PwC), it is expected that the GDP might go up to 14%, so approximately $15.7 trillion by 2030 because of this widespread impact of AI. Even we have like IoT, Internet of Things, so that's going to be greater than the data generally generated by this IOP, okay, Internet of People, okay. So generally we will have increase in the standardization, even with the increase in the automation, even with the personalization of products and the services. So it is shown that 7% we are not actually using AI, but definitely we have an interest rate. But 14% we have some proofs with the limited success. 21% we have small proofs about concepts, and definitely we are thinking about measuring. And 25% we have processes fully enabled with the AI with the widespread adoption, and 33% we have already started implementing limited AI use cases. So which means that everybody, all the countries in the world are showing keen interest towards implementation of AI. Even with the case of robots and autonomous vehicles, even there have been challenges. Even definitely it will, this AI is going to make an impact on the global economy. The productivity gains is going to increase based on the routine tasks. That is going to affect the capital intensive sectors, even with the case of manufacturing and transport even. So we have been using this robots and autonomous vehicles even because of AI. And generally we have to, it is generally expected that we have to invest in software, invest in systems, invest in machines, even based on the assisted, autonomous, and augmented intelligence, even. So, generally, that would generally require the workforce to perform extra fast, even more efficiently. Generally, it would also free up the time that needs to focus on the value added activities. So, that is really very important. So automation generally will have the increase in the overall productivity. So that is the major advantage of this automation in robots and autonomous vehicles. This is the global prediction that there will be availability of personalized and high quality AI enhanced products and services. So even PwC has come up with in turn increased consumption that creates a virtuous cycle of more data touch points. Generally, the data is much more clear enough. Generally, we will have like better insights, better products, and definitely more consumption out of it. So the benefits are actually felt globally. So North America and China are expected to gain the most from the AI technology, and even the gains are accelerated by the advanced readiness for AI, rapid accumulation of data, and increased customer insight. Even that has been really possible because AI is not only for the one particular region; it is globally marching its way forward, and that is where even McKinsey Global Institute prediction has made that 70% of the company will adopt AI by 2030, which is less than half of the larger companies would deploy the full range. So definitely that would really happen within the next 20 years or so. Everybody would be fully into AI. Even McKinsey has already estimated that this additional economic output of $13 trillion that would be expected by 2030, that would increase the global GDP by 1.2% annually. Even there would be substitution of labor by automation. Even there would be increase in the innovation of the products and services even. So even AI is expected to create a shockwave in the labor markets. and the associated cost even to manage this labor market transitions even. So even there would be losses of domestic consumption due to the unemployment, and generally we are making much more prediction of AI. It is going to make much more challenges even. So this is the class test. I would like to request you to take this test right now so that we can actually test the knowledge in our topics.